Listen, I'm a very cool person. I'm one of those targets that's willing to sit down with you and actually um let you guys know about this gang stalking program. My job anymore isn't to get people to believe in this program. You guys know what I mean? You're listening to me talk. It's the grace of God why I have my mind intact. I'm not a crazy person. I don't have any mental illness. You guys know what I mean? So I'm in my right mind and everything. As crazy as this may sound, I'm implantar chipped. You guys know what I mean? I'm implantar chipped. If you guys don't know what the implantar chip is, um, Elon Musk, before I even get on the implantar chip, Elon Musk implanted the first brain chip in a human in the Neuralink project. You guys know what I mean? So that's going down in history, of course. So that teaches you about, how they do things. You guys know what I mean? I know that this is most target individuals. I don't know all the reasons as to why they use the implantar chip in target individuals, but what I can do is give you guys a couple reasons and examples and things that I got to find out that are connected and censored with it. It's very fortunate to say, it's very fortunate for me to say that I do not hear voices. The only time when I hear voices was when I was in hospital. They would send me into panic attack mode. Those are my earlier stages of them forcing me into panic attack mode. So now that I know that it's them, I started to do exercises to fight against it. So in one of these trips to the hospital, I was in the hospital overnight. I spent, the night at the hospital, and whatever medication I was on, that was the only time that I was hearing voices. Specifically when I was falling asleep, I was hearing like 10 voices in my head at one time. Smart technology. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an expert in that type of stuff. You guys know what I mean? It's just based off of what I realized, based off of, just simply based off of what I realized. So I don't want to say that, I don't want to say that, it sounded AI generated or, robotic, but it was strange. It was strange voices that I was hearing that night. And it was specifically when I was falling asleep, when I was going to sleep. It was, sleep medication. And, when I was, falling into sleep, I was hearing all these voices. You guys know what I mean? It's the grace of God that's that carried me from those times. Because no one could tell me that I would be here making this video for you guys today. As I'm out here making this video. I'm still struggling with respiratory anxiety, ever since the coronavirus pandemic. If you know, the realest of all know real. That, the air that we're breathing is not the same. Whether it's connected to the same people that's letting loose these chemtrails. And these chemtrails are nanobots and parasites that aren't good for the human respiratory system. You guys know what I mean? So I don't know if that plays a role as biological warfare, but I know that there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that's going on, man. To the point where I don't even know, I don't even know where to start at this point. But, I finally got into it. So I know that, I know that this whole thing, I know my life is pretty much a project. You guys know what I mean? My life is pretty much a project. It feels like I pretty much don't exist, like I'm not real. But I'm, 100% real.